It's just slow, Maury.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Spirit Chat. And we are so excited to be here today. I am Medium Mari, psychic medium and animal communicator, and I am here with my amazing co-host Winter Brook. And we thought today, since it's getting close to Mother's Day next week, that we would do a Moms and Messages show and talk a little bit about our moms. And they don't have to be your actual mom, they can be people you think of as a mom or people you're really close to. So that was what our topic today is, moms and messages, and just wanted to sort of explore a little bit about that and how we end up with the mom that we have. Did we pick them before we came? All these things. So without further ado, here is my wonderful co-host Winter Brook to introduce herself, and then we will get started.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Yep, as Mari said, we're doing moms and messages, but the mom is a broad term for today's show. So anyone that, felt maternal towards you or you felt maternal towards mothering, nurturing, and, a dad could step into that role sometimes. And so I don't want you to think you're limited to asking for messages from a mother or grandmother, but it's the nurturer is basically where we're going with this. And as Mari pointed out, there are many people, myself included. I have two kids, but I love my pets. I love them like they're my furry little children. So we'll even be doing some spirit pet messages and
They are our furry children.
whoops.
Sorry, I timed it. I said they are our furry children. I have human children and furry children.
They are. And Kat, thank you for coming in. I'm just going to mute you, sweetheart. And Mari, I accidentally, oh, you got yourself unmuted. Sometimes the names and the that jump around. So I go to click on one thing and I get something else. So yeah, so we're happy you came in, Kat. And if you want a message later when we're doing that part, definitely going to unmute you so you can ask for that. So
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So, Mari, would you like to? I had an interesting experience if you'd like me to share it.
Absolutely. I'm just checking the Facebook feed. And so anybody that is on Facebook or YouTube, you're welcome to ask questions as well. So I'm just making sure that that's running. And yeah, absolutely. Tell us what's going on. What happened to you, Winter?
So, I had to go for a medical test last week. And, whenever you go into a doctor's office, sometimes you're feeling a little nervous, when it's a test. But I had to laugh because when I walked into the procedure room, I looked at the computer screen that the tech was using, and it had a big ladybug on it. That was the screensaver. Now, the thing is, ladybugs are my sign that my mom's around.
Oh,
So, sometimes people have birds like cardinals or robins. For me, it's ladybugs and or ladybirds. And the reason is because when I was a little kid, like around 6 or 7, my mom was cleaning the louver windows for the spring. She was very fanatically clean woman. Um, and she didn't realize it, but there was a nest of what I think were ladybirds, which look like ladybugs.
hmm.
And she sprayed the Windex, and they thought she was trying to attack them. So they swarmed her. And nobody ever heard of ladybirds at that point. It was just ladybugs. So I was like, Ma, you're the only person in the world I know who's ever been attacked by a ladybug. So that's her sign to me. So it's just like a little joke. She wasn't harmed, but it was like, surprising. So I bring that up because I wasn't even thinking about her coming into the appointment with me. I felt pretty comfortable doing it. But your loved ones, even if they're in spirit, they often accompany you when you have to do something that might be a little uncomfortable or scary, or even your daughter's about to start dental school, right? So I'm sure she'll have some of your loved ones in spirit accompanying her for her first day, first day jitters whenever you try anything new.
Yeah, 100%. And it's funny that you mentioned the ladybug, or I'm not sure what a ladybird is. Is that?
They're an invasive species that resemble ladybugs to the
Oh,
naked eye. I mean, if you look with a microscope, you'll see they have an M on them and they bite
oh,
unlike the ladybug. And it's the ladybirds that will nest in your house.
oh,
I get ladybirds, believe it or not. It seems to be hereditary. So I
wow.
had to call the exterminator a couple times because they come to nest over the winter. Ladybugs won't enter your home and they would never bite you. They don't do that. So,
Wow. That's interesting because it's interesting you brought it up because that is the sign for my grandmother. So whenever there's a ladybug around, we always say, "Oh, that's Nana." And this past week we went down to Virginia to visit one of my daughter's horses, who's retired. And when we were there, she kept getting in the strangest places. Like we'd be in the car, like with all the windows rolled up, and there'd be a ladybug on her hand, or in the hotel, or just in these weird places. And I was like, oh, Nana's with us, because it was sort of a bittersweet thing for her. She hadn't seen him in a long, long time. And again, with her starting dental school. And so it was just nice to know. It's nice to know that your loved ones are around and they are sending you messages and giving you comfort. And I don't see ladybugs that often, but when we were down there, we saw a bunch of them, and so it was very, very comforting to know that our Nana was around. And I think it's very interesting how we both have the same symbol for our mother figures in our life. So thank you for bringing that up.
awesome.
Yeah.
So, and we're just bringing reminders for you guys out there. Pay attention because, your loved ones aren't only coming through because there's a medium around. And all I needed really to do was to see the ladybug, and I just felt better. I didn't need an actual vocal message. And I just, oh, my Maine Coon just walked in the door. So that, of course, might be my dad, but so, yeah, so loved ones are around, particularly when you're going through trying circumstances. I get more messages from moms and grandmas for their loved ones here. Like, when something's on your chest and you don't feel like you can talk to anyone, talk to me. I'm listening. You may not be able to hear my response, but hopefully you'll feel my love. And it's a way to kind of vent. If you don't want to talk, like, you know you're afraid somebody might hear you or something, write it down on a notebook. Dear mom or dear grandma, I'm having a hard time because this coworker is bothering me, and just get it off your chest like you would have had a cup of coffee, or a cup, as they say in the everybody's seen my roomie, in the UK. And they're there to listen.
Absolutely. Our loved ones are there to listen, and they're also sometimes they'll intervene as well. I mean, if you've ever had strange experiences, like, whatever you're talking about waiting for test results, and you're like, oh no, I thought if something was A, or like the doctor will say something, and then later on you get a message saying, oh no, I was actually wrong. I feel many times our loved ones will try to intervene on our behalf if they are able to. I mean, obviously they can't, change black to white, but if they're able to intervene or manipulate things, they absolutely will, because they are still supporting us from the other side. And part of that is messages. Part of that is connecting to us in whatever way we feel. Like sometimes you might feel just a gentle breeze on your shoulder, or almost feel like a warm hug, like when you're in that state between waking and sleep, and you just sort of feel that warmth in the air, or that sort of prickly feeling, the hair on the back of your neck stands up. That many times is your loved one trying to connect with you, and they are there to provide us that support. And I'm sure you, Winter, have had many circumstances where, you've gotten that support. But again, you don't have to be a medium, Many, many years ago, when my grandmother had passed away, and I was very close to her, and I wasn't really working as a medium then. Obviously I was very intuitive. I was working as a therapist, but I was bereft. I was very sad. I was very close to her, and it was really horrible. And I just remember, she used to write me letters, which is, very old fashioned. And so I had a few of them. And I remember distinctly coming home from her funeral, and I was just, if you've ever lost somebody you're really close to, it's horrible. And I just remember being completely falling apart. And I walked into my room, into my bedroom, but we have like a sitting area on the side. And I noticed there is one of her cards, like she had these cards with her name on them, and then she would just write me a letter in those. And it was sitting on the chair in this reading nook. And I can guarantee you for sure all of these letters that I had for her over the years were packed away in a box in the attic. Like I just didn't keep a lot of that stuff around. I had them, but I didn't have them out. And somehow, mysteriously, the letter from my grandmother showed up on my chair that I would always sit on. And when I walked in after the funeral, I was like, oh my God, like, how did this get here? Because I wasn't really working in the world of mediumship. And I was just blown away, because even I, at that stage of my life, recognized that that was her way to tell me, I'm okay. I know this is hard for you. I'm reaching out to you to let you know that I am still here. And, that was many, many years ago. And that's still, I carry that up front in my heart, knowing that she's still very much around. And it's important for you guys to look out for the signs, or for ways that, if you have something in one area and it's moved to another, and you're like, oh, did my husband do that? Like, just be aware of those type of signs, because they're always trying to connect with us and to show us love, because they want us to know that they're here, they're around us, and even though they're not in the physical, they still support us emotionally. And it's especially around this time of year for Mother's Day, if you've lost people you're close to, know that that's true, and know that especially around these holidays, they are trying to send us messages, and just be open to receiving them.
Absolutely. I love that the letter just appeared. That was, and I'm sorry about the thump. I'm being invaded by cats. They opened the door. See, they like your energy, Mari.
Oh, thank you.
And
love
hello, everybody who's on Facebook. So I have had a fun experience with my dad and my nephew. I was actually in Phoenix, and my friend was taking me on a walk, and there weren't really any guardrails, and I slipped, and the rate I was going, I was probably going to go off a steep hill, and all of a sudden the corner of my eye, I saw my nephew, and then I felt myself, somebody put my hand there and shoved me down. So I was sitting, so I stopped sliding. So that was like kind of really cool. And my dad did something similar for my friend, who was a medium from England. She came to visit me in Long Island a few years back. And we were going to work together, and it was her first night here. She woke up with the time zone and differential, and didn't want to put the hall light on and disturb my youngest daughter and I. So she thought she knew where the staircase was. She went to take a step, and she felt somebody grab her and shove her back into the wall. Now it's just my daughter and I living here, so she didn't think it was them. But she put the light on and realized very quickly she would have fallen down the stairs. So when I got up a few hours later, we chatted, and it was my dad. So, I mean, that's a kind of an extreme example, but, and then I had another friend here, and she was a medium, and he would sing to her, my Valentine, and she thought she was going to be getting a message for somebody that night. And I'm like, no, my dad's just serenading you. And he used to sing awful, and so I'm surprised if he could carry a tune from the other side. But they will surprise us, and they are interested in us, even though they're on the other side. they have their own interests there as well. But they can almost be in two places at once because it's a thought reality. So it's not like they have to get in their car and drive on the Long Island Expressway or 495, where Mari is, to get to you. They can just think of you and be there. So that's why often they can see your worry thoughts if you're concerned about health issues or a loved one. They'll come in for that to reassure you. And they'll do physical signs. So just pay attention.
Absolutely. And I know, and I don't know if I've told this story before, but it always amazes me that sometimes people will get signs and they just blow them off, like really clear signs. And so I remember this one client that I had, we were doing a session, and this person was trying to connect with their aunt. And they happened to be driving to a funeral that day, and they had the GPS on, and the GPS is like, take a left at Susan Road. And then, okay, and then the next one was take a left at Smith Road. And the person that they were connecting with, the person they had lost, was, for example, Susan Smith. So the
Oh,
GPS
wow.
literally said this person's name that had passed away. And they were having a session with me, and they said, well, do you think it was really my aunt coming through, or was it like a coincidence? I'm like, come on, like the GPS is literally saying the name of your loved one, but that's what we tend to do to ourselves because we're human and we want to discount everything. We want to say, oh, it's just a coincidence. No, that's just crazy. And I said, yeah, of course it is, because I mean, I haven't had that happen. That's pretty rare, but the whole direction was the name of this person. And so just be on the lookout, be aware if you're trying to talk yourself out of something. Like you're seeing license plates with, the birth date of your loved one, or there's like pennies everywhere you go, and the year is somehow connected to your loved one, or like their kids or something. And everyone's like, oh, whatever, I just found some change, or this just happened, or, this fell over when I was in the room. No, it didn't mean anything. So we as humans are very good at doing that because it's sort of, it's undescribable. It's hard for us to understand. Like, how did this happen? How did the GPS start saying my loved one's name? Now, I don't know exactly how it happens either. I'm still human as far as I can tell. But
Yeah, that no, they will manipulate electronic
exactly.
devices.
Spirit
I
will,
had
I just meant the actual how they do it. I don't know, but spirit manipulates things. They manipulate objects and energy and animals. And so when these things happen, it's okay for you to question them initially, but if these things are happening to you, try to just be open to them, because I know so many people and clients that have come through my office that just end up explaining everything away. And it's sort of like you're throwing away these messages. And I know sometimes it's hard to take them in and to understand, but I just say, just try to be open, try to trust, because this is your loved one trying to connect with you and say, I'm here, I care about you, and I'm here to help in any way that I can.
awesome. So we have Kat joining us today. And sweetheart, did you want to have a message?
Hi. I love the conversation. I can relate to all of it. If you, yeah, I would love that. Thank you if you feel up to it.
We'd love to because
Yeah.
I'm feeling a grandmother in spirit. Would you understand grandma in spirit? And I think it would be your mom's mom.
Yes, yeah, there's a lot of ladies over there. Yes.
Okay, so because she is stepping in. I feel that she had a good relationship with your mom, but not like best friends. And I think you're closer to your mom than mom
Correct.
was with grandma, because grandma was a little bit more, how should we call it? Not Your mom was more out of the box and innovative.
Yes.
Grandmama Yeah, sorry about that. So,
No,
and
I could
then,
I knew.
grandma was more,
Hmm.
we do it this way and we don't vary from that.
Yeah.
But she was reliable and she doted on you. You were kind of young when she passed. I feel like you were still in childhood.
Yeah, I actually wasn't born yet, but there
Okay.
was other siblings, yeah, that were.
Okay, because she just showed me herself, and I feel like she would dote on the grandchildren. Now,
Mhm.
the little one that's with you, he gives you a bit of a hard time at night. Did
Oh
you
yeah.
understand that? And
Yes, he does.
yeah, he's not a good sleeper. And I do feel like your grandmother tries to calm him down and then
Oh,
entertain him when he wakes up in the middle of the night because her granddaughter, i.e., you, needs some more rest.
I love that. That yes. Oh.
All right. And I do feel like there's a bevy of ladies with grandma. So I feel she has a couple of sisters with her, along with some cousins. It's a big family on the other side.
And yeah, and there's two daughters.
Your aunts?
And yeah, one of them is my aunt,
Okay.
and the other one's my
So
mom.
I see a bunch of females and they come together and they bring in that maternal energy to kind of help the little guy try to stay asleep.
I love that.
She said feed him more at night. That's what she's saying because she always feels like she'd always
That's the
want to feed
solution.
people and they
Yes.
sleep better. So
Yeah.
that's what grandma's saying. So I'm going to leave her with the knowledge that she is very much involved in trying to help you in your role as mom now.
Oh, thank you so much. I love that. Thank you.
That's beautiful, Winter. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, it's interesting as you were talking, I kept getting aunt, aunt, aunt. So if that's all right, Kat, I can try to piggyback a
Thank
little bit.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, I kept getting,
Thank
so I don't know if this would be your mom's sisters, your grandmother's sisters, but I keep getting
my
this.
mom's sister, and my mom's with her.
Oh, okay, okay. Because I keep getting this woman that she would have been, she had like a bigger personality. And I
Hmm.
feel like she, like, I don't, she wasn't thin, but I'd say she's more ample bodied, is what I keep seeing. And I keep seeing her
Hmm.
working with her hair, fixing the hair, making sure the hair is right. Do you understand that? Um,
Yes.
because that was really important to her. And it's funny because I feel like that she might have been a little bossy sometimes as well, and that's how she's coming through. Now, did you know
Yeah.
her when she was on this side of life, or were you not?
Yes.
Okay. So it's
Yes.
very funny because I feel like she's coming in and she wants to also like give you instructions on how to do things. Like she very much has like, this is how I do things and this is what I'm trying to pass on to you. There's some
Yeah.
piece about writing lists, the writing lists with instructions and telling you what to do. And I don't know if
I
she
can take that.
like had lists of like, okay, this is important, write this down and do this and do this.
Yes.
So I almost feel like I feel like her sort of watching over you from behind and like I don't know if you write lists yourself, but she's like, yeah, make sure you get that done. Like you haven't like she's trying to push you and obviously you have a little kid, so it's hard for you, but I feel like
Yeah.
I understand. Um, she's trying to push you to get more things on your list done. And then there's a whole piece about she's showing me like a flower. Was there something connected with her with like a yellow flower? Because she's showing me specifically like a little yellow flower. I don't know if it'd be a daisy or something, whether that would be like on her gravestone or a specific flower that she liked.
Yes. I could take that for her and someone else that's with her that I mentioned. My mom. I'm sorry. My son keeps playing with the
No,
volume on the
it's
iPad.
fine. It's fine. We like to have the kids
I
here.
could take that for her and for my mom, who's probably like right, like they're so similar. It's yeah.
Yeah, they're right next to each other, and I agree with what Winter was saying. I see like a lot of women who have
Yeah.
so much maternal energy around you, just loving on you, and
Mhm.
and it's interesting because I do see so the mom, so that's this is the sister of your mom, and there's a piece
Yes.
with your mom that I feel like she's also saying there's an apology coming from her. Do you understand that? Because there's a piece about not being there for you in the way that you needed, and that she wants to offer an apology for you to
Oh,
understand
she doesn't
that
have to
she's
apologize.
very much trying to be there for you now, along with the aunt. I just feel like the aunt is a lot more bossy. And her energy is coming in stronger. And she keeps talking about the cooking as well. Now, something that she would have done cooking, I don't know if you cook as much because she's saying like, oh, I know I did all these things and I made all the food. And so she's almost trying to encourage you a little bit. So
Yes,
see if you can do a little more of that, or she's talking.
I know. I was like, they call you out on what you need to hear, right?
Yeah,
They
I
are
know,
always
I
watching,
know.
huh?
I'm just the
I'm like,
messenger. I'm just the
no, no,
messenger.
I know. It's just funny because it's like I'll have a good week of cook, and then the other next week I'm like, oh,
Like she's
yeah,
talking about like
freak out.
whole, like healthy food, like whole food
Yeah,
is what she keeps talking to me about, like the meat and potatoes and the veg and the
yes,
like
she would.
very like homemade kind of stuff. And so she's saying
Yeah.
that's really important, and especially for the, if it's a little your little son there, so that he can
Hmm.
get all the nutrients and everything. But she's very like strong on all of that. And is there like a birthday or a crossing that is past
Mine's
coming up? I'm
my
sorry?
birthday's coming up.
Oh, okay,
A
okay.
couple
Because they're
weeks.
showing me a birthday cake and they're saying they want to wish you happy
Oh,
birthday. And they're recognizing that from the other side. And it's
oh,
important
beautiful.
that they know about those times, and that they're saying when you celebrate, and I know you do think of them, but even like, and I'm saying this sort of for everybody, you can set a place for them, or like, oh, this is for my mom and for my aunt. And like, because they come and they visit with you and they love to be included in the celebrations. I know they would have been loved to be included while they were on this
Mm.
side, but they still want to be included from the other side. And
Oh,
that's just important for you to know. So they're
definitely do that.
sending you so much love and support, and
Thank
just
you.
know that they're very strong around you. You have to.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Yeah,
you are so
I
welcome.
really appreciate that. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
no, it's our
And
pleasure.
not that we usually spend this much time, but I do want to, your mom is here. Okay. She's
Mm.
just, as Mari pointed out, grandma's energy came through more forcefully. And
Which
so,
is very strong.
and
Yeah.
your mom, yeah, but she's got a soft strength, if that makes any sense.
Hmm. Yes.
Okay. So she needed, though, to make sure you understand she is present and she'll come through next time stronger.
Yeah. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So sending
Thank you.
love to you. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
Thank you
lots of
so
love.
much. And I'm shocked because my mom's mother is not the type that would, she was very, mentally like had a lot of those illnesses. And like when she was here, and that's what took her early. So she never really steps forward. So that's really awesome. And I love that she did. That was really beautiful. And, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
Okay.
very sweet. Yeah, it's amazing. I love that energy. She had so many loved ones around her, just like a
You could get little
tribe,
one.
you know?
I love little ones.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so let's see who else would like a message. We have a
Yeah,
bunch of
check
people on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I was checking too, to see if there's anybody on there. So if anybody is on Facebook or
He's
Or
saying hi,
maybe
hi,
nice
hi on her
people.
birthday. There you go. You got to say your hi.
very cute, very cute. So. Yeah, so we would love to offer some more messages for people, and if anybody's on Facebook, feel free to drop a message and we will try to get to you as well. The other thing I wanted to sort of bring up, Winter, as you're sort of checking that, is that many times people wonder, how did they get connected with this family? Like how was it that they were born and this was their mom or their grandmother or whatever? Many times we as souls choose the family that we want to be born into. Now, I know sometimes that is hard to hear if you didn't have maybe the greatest family or you weren't treated as well as you should have been. But it's important for us to know that when we are born into these families that we chose, it's because we have karmic things we need to work out. And that doesn't mean like it's punishment or something negative. It's just we need to grow in certain ways, and that's why we pick the people that are around us. So even though if you're sitting here and you're thinking, oh, I don't like my family, I wish I had a different family, which certainly some people feel like, and that's okay. It's just because that you have things you need to work out with them for your own soul to grow. So it's almost like the classroom that you're in, that you're trying to help your soul grow and learn new things and move to the next level. And that's why you're paired with these people. And so it's just important for us to recognize that when we're having a difficult time, sometimes with our loved ones, that it's a school, it's the path of life that we're trying to work ourselves through. And I know everybody, myself included, we're like, oh, I really need to get better at that. I really need to work on that, whatever it is. And these opportunities, sometimes they're not, the easiest. They present them to us so that we are able to work through those things.
Absolutely. And the thing is, maybe the lesson you have to learn in this life is it's okay to walk away.
Yeah, 100%.
If you have abusive family members,
Definitely.
it's okay to walk away.
Absolutely. It's
And
about
you
boundaries.
might need
You're
to
learning
learn to put
boundaries.
yourself and your sanity and your health ahead of others because perhaps you were very sacrificial in prior lives.
Yeah.
So you never know what the lesson may be. You try your best. And then, of course, as I always tell people, you know what? Like if I get someone who doesn't agree with me, we could discuss it when we're on the other side. So you can always go back and work it out, second chances. You don't have to tear each other apart in this lifetime to do that. So we do have somebody in the Facebook, guys, just for so you know, on Facebook, if you're following mine, I can't put the little likes and stuff that you're there or acknowledge you, or because otherwise I end up deleting you. So I do see you, and I see Terry Hagan is here. And I love Terry. She always needs to hear that. And Terry, and she would like a message. And that's good because I thought she may not be coming today. And I felt the presence of her mother. So Terry, your mom is here. This weekend I did a dem at the Eyes of Learning, and Terry had her husband bring her. He's not so into the metaphysics. So his mother came through. But we're going to have your mom come through, Terry. And she doesn't really have anything of major importance other to wish her daughter a happy Mother's Day and tell her, that's you, Terry, that you're doing it all correctly. You're not making mistakes. Your judgment is sound. You're not crazy, because sometimes our kids can drive us crazy. She says, you're fine. You can also put your foot down and tell the boys to get a grip, okay, and start showing a little bit more affection and caring towards you. They should be taking you out for Mother's Day type of thing. Do you understand that? Okay. So she sends lots of love, and she's with you.
Awesome. I know I was looking for her here. I guess she must be on Facebook. I don't see her in the Zoom room, so.
Yeah, she's watching.
Oh,
Not everybody can do
nice.
the Zoom room, so you do have the benefit of watching. But we do have someone in the Zoom room that would like a message. Actually, both the ladies here. Let's start with Joni and then Jennifer.
Okay, and I also do have somebody in my Facebook as well that had a question. So is it
Cool.
all right if I start with her, just because I
Sure.
pulled some cards for her? So it's not quite a mother message, but I'm open to everything. This is for Joanne Garfey McNally. And so hopefully you're listening and you can hear us on Facebook. And her question was, she said that she had to leave her house because of a kerosene spill. She doesn't know when she will or ever get back to her home, and she wants to know if we have any ideas. So I know it's mothers and messages, but that sort of seemed like an important message for me to get out. So Joanne, as I connect to that energy, I do feel like you will be getting back into a house. I don't know if it's going to be that one though, because they are talking to me about being patient because it's going to take some time. And I feel like with the mess that has happened in that house, I almost feel like you finding, and I keep hearing, a better place for you. It doesn't feel like it's too far away as well. So I feel like that you will be moving to another location, because I feel like that there's a piece about they're trying to clean up the spill, and then there's like an EPA or some regulation or something that it has to be done a certain way. And then there's time delay, time delay, time delay. And so I feel like what I'm hearing is the best move for you is to move to this other location. And it actually looks really nice. I'm seeing like this little white house, lots of trees in the background. It looks very peaceful. I feel like it might be a little smaller than what you're used to, which is maybe why you weren't necessarily thinking about it. But I feel a real sense of peace in this location, and I would encourage you to really take a look at it. And I mean, and you can certainly wait if you're really, really focused on getting back to your current house, but I do see a lot of delays getting that returned to, habitable quarters. So it does feel to me like, in terms of your peace, your mental peace, and even like your physical peace, there's some peace about how this might be affecting your body. To move to this other location, even though it's a little smaller, it feels very, I just feel very relaxed in that space as I'm sort of connecting to it, and it feels like a really good spot for you. So Joanne, I hope you were still on. I hope that is helpful. I'm just checking to see. Oh, she said it was her first time listening. So thank you, Joanne, for tuning in. I appreciate that. I hope that resonated with you. Feel free to drop some comments in the Facebook chat, and hope that was helpful.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what I was getting, a smaller location that's going to be very comfy and peaceful, and a sense of relief that she actually ended up there when it's all said and done.
Exactly.
So cool. I love it when we're in sync. So Joni, let's jump to you, sweetheart. You're in the Zoom room. One of the nice things for us when we're working with people in the Zoom room is we can have feedback right away, which is also nice for our listeners. So Joni, sweetheart, I have a mother figure coming through. Would you have mom in spirit?
Yes.
Okay, because she comes through feisty and strong. She was opinionated, but always in the matter of wanting things to be better for you.
I
You know,
have a
you
mother
need
in
a
spirit, and I
warmer
have another
coat.
mother figure in spirit as well.
Okay. So this lady is spoke her mind. She, oh, you need a warmer coat. Don't argue with me because you're gonna get sick and you'll be more comfortable. And I want to say that I would get my hair done at the beauty parlor. I would wear it a little bit longer than the short-haired styles, but not as long as the shoulder length. And I tended to wear skirts more than pants. I was very comfortable wearing skirts. So are you recognizing the woman I'm bringing through? She feels very maternal.
I am, and as soon as you said feisty in hair, that is my grandmother, 100%.
Okay, now did grandma help raise you?
Yes.
That's why I'm feeling her like a mom then.
Yeah.
I do get that when the grandmothers are doing actual care, like my mom did with my oldest,
Right.
They're filling the mother role. So but they're both there because I'm seeing another woman behind her, a head shorter, and that tells me younger generation.
Okay.
Not that she was actually taller or shorter than grandma. So now your mom was just as vocal, but she not necessarily, they would argue a little bit, but she tended not to want to argue with her mother, your grandmother. She would just walk out of the room and do it her way anyway. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, and she comes through because that's the piece of information you need from her, other than for her to say she loves you. There's somebody in your close circle that is giving you a hard time about how you're doing things or wanting you to change the way you're doing it. Just yes them and then go about it's not that important to them. They're just trying to exert control or be in, and then just go and do it the way you were going to do it anyway. It won't get brought up again. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
It's like they just want to have the argument. You don't need that. Don't spend the time arguing, spend the time watching a show you like or doing a craft. So just yes them to death, go out of the room and do it your way anyway.
Okay,
All right.
thanks.
And your mother comes in, gives you one kiss, grandma comes in, gives you another. They stand behind you and help support you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, beautiful. Very nice. Very nice. Now we have, I guess it was, Marina and Jennifer looking for readings as well, correct?
Yes, they're in the chat asking. They're in the Zoom room. So
Okay, so Jennifer, can I work with you? Maybe you can unmute. I don't think I can. Are you able to unmute her, Winter?
no, I can just ask her to unmute. I
Oh,
can
There
mute.
we go.
Okay,
there
perfect.
you are. Hi, Jennifer. How
Hello.
are you? Good. Well, thank you for coming. I love the background. I'm like looking at your the
Outer
moon
space.
behind you. It's very fancy. So
Thank you.
yeah. So as I'm sort of connecting to your energy, I was drawn to you. There's a couple women that I keep connecting with. I have a grandmother in spirit, and I almost feel like there was a friend, or it would have been like an aunt, or maybe like an older friend that felt like a mother figure. Do you understand that?
Mm, an aunt? No.
Well, it almost feels like a friend that would have been older. So maybe not technically related like an aunt, but I'm seeing this older woman. She's coming in. Her hair is pretty well groomed. I feel like, I keep getting like Julia Child vibes from her, which I don't know if you're too young to know who that is, but put together, made sure she was always neat. And it almost feels like it would have been like a friend of the family, but I also have like a grandmother in spirit as well behind you. And I see both of them coming in to try to connect with you. Now, so there's the friend, so it feels like a family friend, not technically somebody that would have been related to, but somebody that would have sort of looked after you, I guess. And then I have the grandmother piece. It almost feels like this would have been dad's mom. And I don't know if you were on this side when she was here, or if you crossed and you didn't know her. Does that make sense? Did you know your
So
dad's?
well, my dad's mom, I did know. I was 10 when she passed away. She had very dark hair and like bright blue eyes.
Okay, so you were very young when she crossed. Now it's interesting because I feel like that she loved you very much, but it would have been harder for her to express that. Do you understand? Because I'm feeling a lot of love, but I'm almost feeling like there's some type of separation. Now, sometimes that can be a physical separation. Sometimes it's like it's just harder for me to express that to you. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So she's coming in. It's almost like she's saying that it was harder for her. There's like a generational piece, but I feel like she was very strong inside. So I'm feeling like a quiet, like Winter had said, like a quiet strength, but that she was very reserved in some ways. Like in her generation, they weren't like all, oh, hug, and being all snuggly and like that. So that really wasn't her character, but she's very much coming in. And there's some piece also, she's skipping right now for a minute, writing notes. So I don't know if I know I was talking earlier about my grandmother writing notes, some piece of, but I don't know if she sent you cards, but there's something about the penmanship and the writing with her that she's coming through, that she's basically saying that she wants to try to be able to support you now in ways that she wasn't really able to before, partially because she wasn't that demonstrative, but also because you were so young when she had crossed. But she's very much looking out for you. And I also feel like there's some piece about her trying to guide you. So I don't know if there's been like decisions lately in your head that you're trying to decide, like career wise or moving wise, like, do I go here? Do I go there? There's some piece about that she's trying to offer advice for. And there's something about the writing. So
I
I don't.
think she's telling me to journal because I've been I just purchased a journal yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I think it's to journal to kind of release things that are holding me back. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I
Thank you.
don't know the friend. I don't know who that would be. The only person I thought of when you said Julia Childs, which is funny, I had a teacher when I was
Okay.
in culinary school. So she was like a culinary teacher, but she wasn't a family friend. So I don't know.
Well, if you were, I'm seeing someone that would have been closer to you or like a mentor to you instead
Yeah,
of getting the Julia Child vibe because you went
that's
to culinary school. That probably makes sense. So
yeah, she
I'm
did
sort of
pass away.
yeah, I'm seeing her sort of looking out for you and sort of trying to guide you because I do feel like that you're in this place of like sort of not knowing what to do. Or I also feel like there's a lot of pressure. I don't know if it's from somebody else or someone else in the family of like, do it this way, do it this way. And you're sort of struggling with, oh, well, what's in my heart and what's important to me and the outside pressure. That's what I keep hearing from them, but they're both very much surrounding you, trying to support you and give you messages. And there's also a piece about little hearts, like leaving you little heart shapes, whether it's like a piece of paper that got cut out and falls on the floor, or a puddle, or you see a drawing from a kid left on the sidewalk. There's some piece about the hearts that keep following you, that they very much want you to know that they are there, they're supporting you, and they're sort of trying to nudge you along on your journey a little bit to try to help you be the full expression of yourself, is what I keep hearing. And it's funny because with your grandmother, she's like, never would have believed in this. She was just like, I never would have been part of this whole scenario in my lifetime. And so she's kind of chuckling a little bit to herself that she's, trying to help you from the other side. But she's saying, I didn't know. I didn't know how these things worked when I was on that side. And now that I do, she's trying to sort of help you and support you. And they're very much around you. And again, with the cooking school teacher, it's like she is trying to sort of guide you in your career because she keeps talking to me about, and she's showing me like some certificate or something. I don't know if you earned a certificate with her or some type of special degree or something,
Well,
or if
I
you're
just got an
working.
award last week, so
Oh,
maybe they
perfect.
saw that. Yeah, I was just like honored, which was very nice. So I got wasn't necessarily a certificate, it was like I don't have it on my desk right now, but it's like a plaque kind
Like
of
a
thing.
plaque or a piece of paper. Yeah, they're showing me this rectangle with like, some type of special recognition. And she's sort of making mention of that and like, bravo, like good job to you. Like I feel like she
Oh,
was a good cheerleader for you and she still very much is from the other side. And they are both sending you their love. And they're also giving me like this big bouquet of flowers. There's some piece about the daffodils, which I know we're in spring, but specifically flowers and also including a lot of daffodils. So I don't know if they are in your house now or you received them recently in relation to this reward piece. They're talking to me about that as well. So just know that they're around you, that they love you, and they're really trying to sort of guide you and help you in your next steps because there's like you can do this, like they're saying like you have, so especially the cooking lady, that you have so much to give and that you have so much to do and that you're sort of a little stuck and they want to just give you a little push to keep you moving. So I'll
thank
leave you
you.
with that. You're welcome.
So,
Thank you.
um,
Uh,
Mari, we have Mariana in the room,
okay.
but somebody just came on Facebook that I would like to give a message to.
Okay, sure.
Okay, and then Mariana, you're next, sweetheart. Okay, it's just that this lady I've known all my life, and yeah, she just had a bad loss. So Barbara, um, I thought it was going to be George coming through, but it's not. It was Todd. He came through. I knew your late son Todd. We were the same age, and he came through and he said, "I want to wish my mother a happy Mother's Day." And he was quite pushy about it. And I feel like he wants to give you a big bear hug and tell you that don't worry, I was there when George crossed, and we've been getting to know each other better. Um, they like similar activities, they have similar interests, Todd and George. George feels much better. He feels like he's back in the prime of his life. You are still his bride in his eyes. And when you're standing alone in the house, whether it's the living room or the kitchen, he's showing me both rooms. Sometimes you feel like he's present, and then you remember he's passed, but that's actually you picking up his energy. in addition to your son and your husband, your parents are stepping forward, and your brother. They are all letting you know they are around you. They're sending tremendous love. Your mother wants you to know she watches over your great grandchildren like a shepherd, a German shepherd, with lots of protection. So just give the girls a lot of love from their great grandmother and know that you're being looked after by your loved ones in spirit. God bless.
Oh, beautiful. Very nice. So that was on Facebook, right?
Yes, I know she had a recent loss, so
Oh, that's nice.
um,
Very nice.
I wanted to they needed to come through for her.
No, of
So
course.
I'm sorry I jumped the line, Mari, Anna Rose. That's a gorgeous name. I'm still like a little, would you do
No
Mari?
worries. I was actually drawn to Joni. I know that she had asked for a message earlier in the chat, and I was drawn to her. And we didn't do you already, Joni, did we?
Yeah, we did, sweetheart.
Did? Okay, I'm
But
sorry. I thought because for some reason your camera was off, so I was confused. I thought there was another one that we hadn't done. So my apologies for that.
That's okay. Winter gave me a little reading as well.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, it was just interesting because I kept getting a couple different women coming in for you. So just, and if Winter already read for you, then I won't. Would take the time, but just know that you're very much surrounded by your loved ones. And there's some piece about, like I was talking to one of the other ladies earlier about really getting things moving. There's some piece for that as well with you about really trying to move forward in your life because they're talking to me about this stuck energy and they want to help you try to move forward. And that was sort of the main, I distilled the message from them, but that was the main thing
I
that they were coming through. So
I appreciate it. Actually, I'm trying to literally move out of my apartment and try to.
yeah, there's like, let's go, let's keep moving, get to, they want to see like, because it feels very stale is what they're saying to me, and they want to see some fresh energy and that you have like so many things, like they're showing me this like board of like, you can do this and this and this, like there's so many things that you can do and you're just kind of like frozen and not doing them. So they're trying, come on, you can do this, we're here for you. So very much a supportive message from them. So I felt that was important to get out.
And I just started a vision board, so
There you go. So perfect. Thank you so much. So I just
and a
want
lot of bossy women behind me is always a thing.
yeah, exactly. So well, they're just trying to. They're like we're just trying to help. We're just trying to help. So, uh,
Thank you.
oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so Marina Rose, Marina Rose. Can
oh,
you?
I really didn't pronounce your name right. I'm sorry,
Oh,
sweet.
that's okay. No, it's like a boat marina.
Oh, I'm sitting there,
It's all good.
Mariana.
I
I'm
don't
so
know.
sorry.
I was just going with it. So
You
It's
got
all
it
good.
right. It was me.
Yeah,
no, so
it's all
thank
good.
you for joining us and
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You have so much, you have a really beautiful energy around you, a real gentle sort of energy. I see very much a lot of different women, a lot of people behind you, actually. I feel like you have a lot of people on the other side. Do you recognize there's a grandmother and a mother on the other side?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's interesting because I'm seeing, they're both trying to like cut each other off. So they're having
Yep.
a little argument on the other side to talk to you. So, but it's interesting with the mom energy. I almost feel like what she's saying to me is that you two didn't always see eye to eye when she was on this side. Do you understand that?
Mhm. Yeah, earlier on, yeah.
Yeah. And that she's saying that she hopes that you understand. She's saying, I hope you understand now why I pushed you so hard. I'm not sure where she's going with that, but that's exactly what I just heard her say. And it's funny because with the grandmother, I feel like in some ways, at certain times of your life, you connected more with her than you did with the mom. You understand that?
No, I didn't actually at all, but Yeah, so I don't know what that is. Yeah, I didn't connect with my grandmother at all. Either one of them.
Interesting, because that's what I'm hearing. I don't know if it was a grandmother from the other parent, but this grandmother
No.
is saying that she feels like that you had a better relationship with her sometimes with the mom. It could
Mhm.
also be somebody that sort of more represents a grandmother, somebody in the community or an aunt
Mm,
or something, because she keeps saying to me that you would come to me when you wouldn't necessarily go to your mom.
mm.
Been a neighbor or somebody like that.
Yeah, I really didn't have a woman figure that was a representation of a mother. No, or a
Oh, well,
grandmother.
that's
Yeah.
okay. That's okay. But that,
Yeah.
I can be wrong, but that's just
No,
what
yeah,
I'm
I'm trying
hearing
to
from
think of
you.
who that would be. Yeah, I wish I did.
Yeah, well, somebody that would have been there for you, not, not all the time, every single
Right.
day, but somebody
Yeah.
on the exterior, on the outside that you would have been able to go to when you weren't seeing eye to eye with your mom, is what I
Mm,
keep hearing. And she looks like an older woman. It could have been even like a guidance counselor or somebody like
mm,
that, but she's saying that, I was there to try to sort of help you when things were not necessarily going as great with your mom, because I
mm,
do see that friction sometimes with her. But she's saying now that she's on the other side, is that she understands why it was so difficult for the two of you to get along. So I feel like that both of you could be headstrong at certain times, and that you two sort of collided, and it was difficult sometimes to have that relationship. But she's coming in, you know, in sort of an apologetic way a little bit, to say that, she wishes that you had more time together, more of those good times, because that's what, she's talking about, and wanting you to really be able to have that deep connection with her. And it feels like during those times when you weren't able to connect, that some of that was lost, if that makes sense.
mm. Yeah, we were super close before she passed. So I had a lot of,
So you were
I
able
mean,
to
we
sort
made
of,
up for a lot of last time.
yeah, exactly. And that's
Yeah.
sort of what, in the
Yes.
bad
Yeah.
way I'm trying to say, is that in the
Yeah.
beginning it was kind of rough, and that
Yeah.
you sort of had this reconnection in a sense.
Yes.
She's
Yep.
grateful for that as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
And she's talking to me about, is there like a younger girl, like a daughter, granddaughter? There's some piece about that she's talking to me about as well.
Yeah. I have a niece. Yep.
Like providing guidance to her is what she's talking to me about. And there's some
Yep.
piece that's like almost in some way she's telling me that she's working through you. It's like, and I don't know, when you're working, you're talking to your niece, that sometimes you think about your mom and you're like,
Mm,
oh, this is something that my mom would have
right.
done, because she's saying that those are ways that she's sort of able to whisper in your ear and sort of
Yeah.
that message to the niece, so that you're able to help her, because she's very like, she likes to get things done, your mom, she's
Yeah.
like, even though she's on the other side, she
Right.
still wants to get things done. So she's
Right.
not
Right.
just like sitting back and like, whatever,
Yeah.
eating ice cream. She wants to still be able to sort of influence what's on this side. And some of our spirit loved ones are like that. Some of them are more kind of chill, and they're like,
Right.
whatever. But I very much feel a strong energy with your mom,
Yes.
trying to sort of help you in that way.
Thank you.
And she is very much gives you a big hug, and she's so
Thank you.
grateful that you were able to reconnect towards the end. And there's
Yeah.
some piece about a gift. I don't know if she like left you a gift that you still haven't opened yet. She's showing me a box with a gift in it that
Mm,
would have been hers. And I don't know if like she gave it to you later and you were saving it for something. There's some
mm.
piece about giving you a gift that
Okay.
you haven't necessarily either found it yet or haven't opened it yet. There's some connection with that. And it might also be financial as well.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
you're
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
You're welcome.
Thank
I hope
you.
that was helpful.
Yes, very. Thank you.
Good, good.
Thanks, ladies.
And I
And
know
you
when
know what
you
was
were,
interesting? I looked at, looked at you just in case Mari wasn't going to connect, and I couldn't get any people with her. I got pets.
Mm,
I
oh,
think you have quite a few animals on the other
yes.
side,
Yes, I have quite a
because
few everything on the other side.
I just kept getting
Yeah.
animals for you, like
Yeah.
pets,
Yeah.
though, not just random spirit
Yeah.
guides. So I just wanted to acknowledge that
Thank
they're
you.
around you as well.
Thank
yeah,
you,
for
ladies.
sure.
I have to run because I have to get on a call at 4. Thank you so much.
Thank
No
you for
worries,
coming
Nice
in.
no
connecting.
worries. Thank you for coming. Yeah, no, her people were like hard to suss out, but I knew that they were there. So sometimes we just got to work a little bit harder. And I know that we had talked about doing a card of the day. So I know we're a
Yeah,
little bit over, but do you want to do a quick card of the day,
I actually
Winter, and then
pulled one if that's okay.
I love it. Yeah.
I had two decks. I wasn't sure which one I was going to use, but this was, Moms and Messages in celebration of mothers. Mari and I are both mothers, so, it's major important. My daughter, she went away and bought me these cards for Mother's Day. So I just got the impression to share, and they've been pretty amazing cards. They're oracle cards, they're not tarot. And I pulled one for the group, whether you're here now or you're going to watch the recording. And it's 4/4, which angel numbers means angels are around you. And it's the card for eternity. And this particular creator, Tony Carmine Salerno, because I like to give credit where credit is due. She wrote something lovely about the meaning of the card, but what really stood out for me is all you are and all you ever have been and all you ever will be is already here. The magic of creation is now. You have it within yourself to be and create what it is that you so desire.
Beautiful.
Okay. So I just leave that with everybody. And I want to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day for those celebrating. Mari, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to you too. And I wanted to let people know that our next show will be June 25th, and we will have the amazing Jeffrey Peck, who is a medium and an intuitive. He's fabulous. He has his own show, his own podcast, and that will be June 25th at 3 p.m. And then we'll take a little break for the summer. And then we'll be back in September. So we are very much looking forward to seeing everybody again. And feel free to reach out to either one of us. My website is mediummari.com, mediummari.com. And you can reach me there. And Winter, how can people reach you?
Winterbrookmedium.com. Or you can email, you can just go to the website and there's a link to email me right on the website. And yeah, I'll be traveling a little bit this summer. So with my kids, my mom role. So the first trip's with my oldest. She's back from working and serving in Africa. And we're going to go off to Japan. And then my youngest, we're going on a cruise to Ireland. So, and London afterwards for a couple days. So I'm going to try to, actually, I think one of our former guests, we're going to try to connect while I'm in London. I'm working a little bit over the summer, but there's a little bit of a time lag in getting appointments if you want a reading. And then after, in September, Mari and I will be back and doing the show. But we have June 1st with Gregory Peck, who's supposedly amazing. I'm so excited to meet him.
He is. He's fabulous. He's fabulous. Definitely check him out. And well, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you in Apple iTunes land, iHeartRadio, wherever you're listening to this. And thank you for the Zoom room and the Facebook and everybody who joined us. And thank you to Winter. And I'm looking forward to our show next month. So thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Thank you. God bless.